Still to this day, it is one of the best intro songs to any video game ever, and this is Kingdom Hearts, the final mix, the original game on the PS4. And hello everybody, I am Bradley Overrated, and we are in fact reviewing the original game. Now, since Kingdom Hearts 3 has come out, I started playing it, realized I don't remember anything that's going on anymore, and so for the whole year, at least once a month, I am going to play and review every single Kingdom Hearts game there is. So if you're into Kingdom Hearts, be sure to click that like button and subscribe to my channel, and let's jump into the original game that started it all. So if I could explain the first game, which is thankfully the easiest game to explain, it's basically once upon a time Sora had two of his friends on an island with a bunch of other people dreaming of getting away. And then the Heartless comes, which is the main evil entity source things. Just go with it, okay? They come, they invade the island, they swallow the island, and the three friends, while they get away from the island, they are also separated. Sora ends up in Traverse Town, joins up with our boys, Goofy and Donald, in the craziest crossover ever. And by ever, I mean ever, seriously. Who pitched this idea? Hey, Square Enix, you guys do great stuff. Would you like to join Disney in making an action RPG? And yeah, it works. It works really well. I just can't even begin to imagine how this even came to be a thing, but I am so glad it is a thing. Now, there are a few things I should mention about this game, as this game originally came out on the PS2, is that there are some things that definitely in the game show its age. One thing that's big in particular are the mouth movements. If you watch each of the characters, for the most part they just basically go up and down and the words magically form. This isn't like PS4-esque eras. Now you can't see their mouths and their faces do like all these super hardcore expressions and stuff, but you know what? That's okay because this is a child's game, kind of. I'm 29 years old just about, and yeah, okay, maybe it's not just a child's game, it's really an anyone's game, and that really only plays through the strength of Kingdom Hearts. And like I said, you will see countless of Disney and Square Enix Final Fantasy characters throughout this game. You will get your Tidus in the game, you will get Squall, who goes by Leon, by the way. Cloud is in here. You will have to fight Sephiroth if you want, and he's a dick. It's fantastic. And then on the Disney side, you know, you get Captain Hook, Oogie Boogie, Maleficent, Hades, Hercules. I mean, you get Phil even. Lock, Shock, and Barrel. I love Lock, Shock, and Barrel. And so if you're a Disney fan or a Final Fantasy fan, or maybe you just are a fan of a few Disney movies here and there, this game is still for you because it has all of these characters. There's something you are bound to like in this game. So let me jump in more about that aging process, as I so to speak, because this is a remaster of a PS2 game. And while they did a nice job with, you know, the art style and rendering it to get 1080p and all that good stuff, and the textures, man, they are vivid. I mean, they look great. This game still looks great and really holds up in a lot of ways, especially on graphics and art style, but it doesn't hold up in terms of basic mechanics. For example, camera angles. They will become very infuriating, something that I did not discover when I was a kid, but definitely realize now. They fight you. A lot of the times, they fight you. Ledge grabbing will fight you. Invisible walls will fight you. And even then, some of the simplest of textures like flowers are just ingrained into the floor. They're not actually sticking out of the floor, they're just like painted on the floor. Because like I said, this is an old game. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing because it's that old, you know. I'm a little bit more on the lenient side. Back when this game came out, it was something special. This was like state of the art good, alright? So I'm just bringing it up that these things are still there in this game. But enough about that, let's talk about combat, because combat and story and all of that stuff. That's what Kingdom Hearts is all about, and the combat in this game is good, man. I love it. Simply just going around grinding, slashing, casting magic, whatever you want to do, you can do it all in this game. It's pretty efficient for the most part. I still don't like the fact that magic and trying to use items is a big pain. For example, over there on the bottom left, if I want to use an item, there's no way to quickly use an item. I have to manually, while running around, dodging the enemies, swinging at them, push down on my D-pad, select items, select the item I want, then select the character I want to use the item on. It's tedious, and it can honestly result in you dying just because of how long it takes sometimes to go through these processes. And the same can be said for magic. Now, they did do a quick draw ability sort of thing for the magic where you can select 3 spells that you really like that you can cast really fast by holding down the L1 button. But there's like 7 or 8 different spells, and if you're trying to use a specific spell for a specific time, once again, you gotta go down on the D-pad, select magic, and select which one you want. It's a tedious and time-consuming process, but I get it. Once again, I understand that they were trying to make something new and original, and while that just never held up, even back then it was an annoyance. It's a minor annoyance, and it's not like it's the biggest thing, because overall, the combat is just fantastic. But you want to know what really makes the combat excellent? It's the boss fights. If anybody were to ask me what is the best thing about Kingdom Hearts, I will tell you the boss fights. I mean, think about this for a second. Once again, it's Final Fantasy and it's Disney, and you will fight characters from Final Fantasy and from Disney. So if you want to fight Ursula from The Little Mermaid, you can fight Ursula from The Little Mermaid. Captain Hook, you can make him walk right off that plank and into that crocodile. That's right. And then Maleficent, oh, bring it on, biatch. I mean, it's just great being able to fight all of these classic Disney characters, and then on top of that, you get to fight Final Fantasy characters like Cloud and Sephiroth. And what's even better, you can fight other characters like Tidus, that little crybaby from Final Fantasy X, and you can kind of just smack him around a little bit. Maybe tell him to get over his daddy issues, you know what I'm saying? It's fantastic being able to fight all of these characters, and then on top of that, they throw in their own original bosses. Kingdom Hearts is a game for boss fights. If you're someone who likes excellent boss fights, this is a game for you. So now let's glance over some extra content and mini games, because it's an RPG. There's bound to be a mini game or two in there, and the mini games in this game are not very good. I'm sorry, if there was one big drawback to this game, it's the mini games. Most specifically, the gummy ship. There are other ones you can do, but they're just these little small, tiny things. I'm not going to go into them because they're just there. And when it comes to, though, the gummy ship, it's basically a rundown version of wannabe Star Fox 64. And it's just not that exciting. I don't know how to explain it. You just go from point A to point B. It is your method for traveling to the new worlds. Thankfully, you'll be able to acquire a warp drive and go to any planet you want without having to play this, because there's just not a lot of reason to go back to playing these stages after you've completed it one time. They're not very good, and they're just not that fun and engaging. I mean, you can make your own gummy ship, but it's just not that good. And then the other last thing I want to point out is there are collectibles in this game, all sorts of collectibles, and those are excellent. Just fantastic. Now, there's one last thing I want to talk about in this game, before I give it my official letter grade, and that's the story itself and the character development, and that's also the second best thing about this game. Now, since it is a Disney and Final Fantasy, immersion, you can kind of expect there to be some cliched lines and some Disney-esque makes you want to puke moments. They have them in there, but for the most part, it's a really good story, and it's the characters that drive it home. Sora, Donald, Goofy, Leon, I mean, all of these characters in this game are vibrant, and they are just so well done, and I love each and every one of them. It's what keeps you going in this game. It is amazing. And if I could describe this game, what it is all about, at the end of the day, I'd say it's a story about friendship and how your friends bring you together. And you know what? It's nice. I like having a simple, even if it is kind of cliched story like Kingdom Hearts is, just because sometimes that's all you need and that's what makes it special. Alright guys, now it's time to give this game a letter grade, and for those of you that don't know, I give letter grades, A being the best, F being the worst. I take what it's like to be just a gamer, casual type of gamer. I take the side of me that's just a critic, a harsh, stingy, a-hole critic. I combine the two basically to present to you the letter grade. And Kingdom Hearts, guys, is just a really fun and engaging game. Character development, awesome collectibles, an engaging story, fantastic combat and boss fights, but there are some drawbacks. Like I said, cycling through magic and items during combat is annoying. There's also annoying little details like the camera angles changing on you sporadically that I don't like. There's enough of those, and then especially the mini games. That stupid gummy shit, man. It's just not that great. So with all of this in mind, guys, I give Kingdom Hearts, the original game, a B+, and I almost gave it an A-, so bear that in mind. It barely didn't get there. Alright guys, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I just want to say, if you're wondering what Kingdom Hearts game to try out first, I would recommend trying out this one just because it is the original and it really does set the standard for all the games to follow. It is a fantastic game. It's a fantastic series, actually, and I recommend you try it. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I am Bradley Overrated, out like a trout, guys, and I will see you on the next video. Take care.